what's up? Thomas here, and this is Clarity Sessions. So in this video, I'd like to talk about the pros and cons of having a schedule. So after watching this video, you will actually realize how much would you want to schedule your day, perhaps not at all, perhaps very much so, or perhaps somewhere in between, and how to find that perfect balance with scheduling and going with the flow. So I had times in my life where I just wouldn't schedule anything at all. And maybe I, would put in a session here and there just for work. And then the other day would just be completely unscheduled. I would wake up whenever I want, unless I had a session to do with a client earlier, but I just wouldn't schedule anything at all. And I even had 1 week where I would just completely allow myself to do whatever I wanted. If I wanted to go out and club until late night, if I wanted to, not work and play a video game or watch a TV show, just whatever I wanted for 1 week, just to kind of try it out, test it out on myself. What would happen if I could do whatever it is that I wanted to do? And having gone through that, I've come to some really interesting conclusions. Furthermore, I've actually worked with lots of people who really hate schedules and scheduling. For example, some photographers, artists, or just someone who's not into that at all and just wants to go more with flow, more with a moment, so to speak, and with what the day brings and what with each moment brings. And that's more of a feminine way of approach. And all of us have both masculine aspect and feminine aspect to us. So this one is what some people and some traditions would call more of a feminine approach. And yes, there is some beauty to actually not going and having a clear schedule, to not having a clear morning ritual, to really enjoying your life. It gives a lot of freedom. But as I was working with a guy doing a clarity session a few days ago, what he told me was actually that scheduling gives him more freedom. And that may sound very counterintuitive, but what we need to realize a lot of the time is that actually having a clear schedule and really knowing what it is we want to do can allow us to focus on work when we need to work and focus on completely resting 100% whenever time comes to rest. So eventually the best approach is for you to clarify your vision. Clarify what it is that you want to have or you want to be before you die, or even half a year from now. How do you want your life to look? What contribution do you want to make? What do you want to create? What do you want to achieve in that time? And when that's done, it is much easier to put a schedule into place. And it's also much easier to actually set out the more specific goals and the smaller and larger goals when you know clearly where you are going. And once you've clarified that, and to do that, you need to do whatever you need to do. Perhaps it's enough to write out some things. Perhaps you should be writing daily in a journal. Perhaps whenever you wake up, just take 10 minutes to just write nonstop for 10 minutes and write a single page or two. And that can really help to see what's on your mind, so that you're not only creating from your mind and only attending to your mind's new goals and ideas, but actually doing what's continuous with your heart's purpose, and doing that constantly. And then when you know where you're going and why you're going there, it's much more clear to actually figure out, do you just want to live a life that's not so much with schedule and explore this part of life, how to live life when you can just, flow more and kind of just enjoy and surf on the waves of life. But then it's really quite easy to just get into pleasure, enjoyment, and just like, oh, that would feel nice, that would be cool. And you can tend to lose your deeper connection with your real purpose for being here. And once you have that clarified, whether from writing, whether from going and taking a period of solitude, whether through really kind of going more deeply inside yourself, introspecting and seeing what it is your heart wants to do here and what you need to do while you're here. And then you simply look, do you serve the world? Do you actually live more from your heart if you have a schedule or if you don't? And usually for most of us, it's going to be somewhere in the middle. So maybe you want to have a morning routine, and then after the afternoon, you can just leave it free. Maybe you want to have 2 or 3 blocks of work, and then after that, or maybe it's like 8 blocks of work during the day, but usually you still want to leave some time unplanned. So if you're really, really big on planning, it actually helps and serves your growth to hang out with people who aren't so much into planning, and to actually take up some time during the day or just a couple of days a week where you're not going too much into planning, but just allowing yourself to go with the flow more. And then if you're really into just kind of flowing without a clear sense of direction or a clear plan, then it may be a good idea for you to also try planning and hang out with people who are more into planning as well. And once you've clarified where you're going, and once you've clarified what your main goals are, then you can go and see what you need to do every single day in order to move closer to them, and do not too little, but also not too much, so you don't burn out, so you don't lose your work-life balance, so you don't lose your touch with your family, your connection to nature and all of that. and so you have enough rest as much as you need to. Make sure that you're not doing more than 100% of what you should do, and your heart always knows what you should do, and that you're not doing as well less than 100% of what you should be doing every single day. And then every morning or every evening, schedule a morning routine which is as flexible and as tight as you like, and experiment with this. For instance, yesterday I had the tightest morning routine, and today I just allowed myself to go more freely and actually wake up later, have a really good long night of sleep. And I really enjoy when I'm just kind of going real hard with it, really with a clear, tight schedule. That's amazing. But really see what works for you, what balance works for you, and then day to day, perhaps in the morning, perhaps in the evening, make a new schedule for the next day. And feel free to also alter it as long as you see, okay, this is really what I should be doing. Sometimes you're also gonna fail and go, do something that's out of the schedule, but that's fine. Don't worry about that at all. It's actually not beneficial to be worrying about things. Just do it the best way that it suits you. And instead of worrying about the past, see what you can do differently and better in the future. So every morning or every evening, make a schedule that's as tight or as loose as you like, and then experiment with making it tighter or looser, with adding a few things or taking a few things away, with having a clearer morning ritual and looser afternoon or otherwise. And I really hope that you find this balance that's perfect for you and find the perfect ritual and the perfect schedule, however loose or however tight, that's perfect for you. And if you'd like to learn more about the work that I do with helping people find clarity in life and clarity day to day, month to month, year to year, and just a lifetime of clarity, which I'm also striving for myself and find immense pleasure in helping others do that too. So go ahead and click here and learn more about that. Otherwise, I'll speak with you next time.